Lesson 1.6, Applications of Quadratic Functions. We're going to take what we did in Chapter 1b with graphing and finding key features to model and solve real-world situations. Thinking about the phrase, what goes up must come down. If something is projected into the air and it comes back down to Earth, it'll follow the path of a quadratic function. When the projectile goes up in the air, we have a projectile motion equation. H of t equals -1/2 gt squared plus VOT plus HO. There's a lot of content here, so we're going to break down each of the variables. As we look at all of these variables and their meanings, typically what will happen with a word problem is we'll already be given a formula, so we won't have to worry about plugging these numbers in. G is the gravity component to this projectile motion formula. Gravity is what pulls the projectile back down to Earth. In meters per second, gravity would equal 9.8, but in feet per second, it would equal 32. T is the time function, so t isn't going to have anything substituted in. It's like x for our quadratic functions that we were graphing back in lesson 1.4. V sub o is the initial velocity. When the path of the projectile starts, how fast was it actually going? That would be the initial velocity, and then that changes over time. The initial height is that h sub o, and that's like the y-intercept. It's that very last number. Plane h on the left-hand side would be the new height. So that's kind of like the y value or the output back when we were graphing quadratic functions. When asked to interpret a word problem, you're really only going to do the same kinds of things 2 or 3 different ways. So it's looking for keywords like when and what that will help derive what we do to solve. When will something reach maximum height? Well, anytime you see maximum height, that's automatically the vertex. And we know the vertex has 2 parts, the input and the output. The when would be the input. So instead of saying let x equal -b over 2a, the when is the time feature, so we would say let t equal -b over 2a. And that would be either in seconds or minutes, just depending on the word problem. And that's all you do. It's really that quick. But if it says what is the maximum height, the what is the output, like the y value if we were graphing. So what we'd have to do is plug t back in. And that would give us the maximum height. So even that's not too terribly difficult. You're still working with the vertex. If it says when will the projectile be at a different height from where it started, well, now we have to do a little bit of different work. So it says when will it be at a different height, we're still solving for t. We're going to set the equation equal to that new height. And then we'd have to solve. And when we solve, we have to either factor or do quadratic formula. So these will be a little bit more challenging. If it says when will it land on the ground, when again is t, we'll set the equation equal to 0. And then we have to solve. Other than that, there really won't be any types of questions different than those 4 situations. Kirk Cousins throws a football with an upward velocity of 18 meters per second at a height of 2 meters. Write the height of the football as a function of time. So if we think of our formula, h of t equals -1/2 gt squared plus VOT plus HO, we have to know what to plug in to all of those variables, except for t and h. Well, if it says meters per second, our gravity value is going to be 9.8. The velocity is 18 meters per second, that's v sub o. And then the initial height was 2 meters, so that's h sub o. And we're just going to plug those values in. So h of t equals -1/2 times 9.8 times t squared, plus v sub o is 18 times t, plus h sub o, which is 2. From here, really all we can do is simplify that fraction. Negative 1/2 times 9.8 is negative 4.9. Plus 18t plus 2. That is our equation. So if 1 isn't given to you, you should have enough information to plug in the values for g, v sub o, and h sub o in the projectile motion formula. Let's use that formula to answer the rest of the questions. When will the football be at its maximum height to the nearest hundredth? So you'll want to grab a calculator. Here it says maximum height, so we know right away that means vertex. When means the t value or the input. So we want to solve for the t coordinate of the vertex. That just means we're going to do negative b over 2a. Once we simplify that fraction to the nearest hundredth, we'll have our answer. b is 18, so this would be negative 18 over 2a, 2 times negative 4.9. That'll be negative 18 over negative 9.8. The two negatives cancel out, and if you plug that into your calculator, it's pretty quick. It's 1.84. 18 divided by 9.8. And our label is going to be in seconds. So it doesn't take very long for the ball to be at its maximum height. If it says what is the maximum height, then we have to plug t back in. So you're definitely going to want a calculator for this one. So if we're saying what is the maximum height, then h, and in parentheses we'd write 1.84 because that's what t equals. That's height at that time. Negative 1/2, no, not negative 1/2, well, sorry, negative 4.9, oh, I could have left that maybe. Negative 4.9 times 1.84 squared. Can you see why a calculator will be helpful on this? I can. Plus 18 times t, or 18 times 1.84, plus 2. If you're careful, you should be able to plug that entire thing in at once, which is kind of nice. So go ahead and try to type that in. Watch your order of operations, watch your pluses and minuses, and you should get a height of approximately 18.53 meters. That would be the maximum height the ball reaches. If no one catches it, when will the ball land on the ground? Well, no one's going to, obviously, somebody's going to catch it. That's clear. It's the Vikings. But anyway, if nobody caught it, when would it land on the ground? That means the height would be 0, so landing on the ground. So we'll set the equation equal to 0. We have negative 4.9 t squared plus 18t plus 2 equals 0. To solve, we have to go back to quadratic formula. This will not be factorable. So quadratic formula, t equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. Now we're going to plug this in, and the nice thing about this is it says to the nearest hundredth, so we'll be able to use the calculator to determine our answer. We have t equals negative b, which is negative 18, plus or minus 18 squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2a. And again, a calculator is going to be super helpful on this. We have negative 18 plus or minus 18 squared is 324, minus 4 times 4.9 times 2, or negative 4.9 times 2, is negative 39.2. I said 324, sorry, that should be there. All over 2 times a, so negative 9.8. We have 2 negatives on the inside, so that's going to change to positive, and that would give us negative 18 plus or minus 324 plus 39.2, which would actually be the square root of 363.2. Wow, why am I not getting that in there? Sorry. Try that again. 363.2, there we go, all over that negative 9.8. So if we split this, we'll have negative 18 plus the square root of 363.2 all over negative 9.8. Negative 18 plus the square root of 363.2 is only about 1.06. And if we divide that by negative 9.8, that's going to be a negative time answer, negative 0.11 seconds. So that doesn't make any sense. Let's try the other one. If we do negative 18 minus the square root of 363.2 all over negative 9.8, we would get negative 37.06 over negative 9.8. I'm running out of room here. Hang on. We're going to fix this quick. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. All right. There we go. Better. And that would give us positive 3.78 seconds. And that makes more sense. So the ball would land on the ground if nobody caught it in about 4 seconds. And there you go. For our next example, the formula is actually given to us. It says a rocket is launched in the air from the ground. After t seconds, its height in feet above the ground is modeled by the function h of t equals negative 16t squared plus 480t. So it starts on the ground. That means the initial height is 0. That's why it's missing that last number. It says, what is the maximum height the rocket reaches? So if we think about the path of the rocket, and we think about height as a function of time. So here's time, and then here's the height it reaches. If it's starting on the ground, and it goes up in the air, and it'll come back down. It looks something like that. If we want to know what the maximum height is, we need to find the vertex. The what is the h value, so we still need to figure out what t equals. We'll do t equals negative b over 2a, and we have to plug that back in. B is 480, so that would be negative 480. All over 2 times a, which is negative 16, and that's negative 480 over negative 32. The two negatives cancel, and 32 actually goes into 480 15 times. So it takes 15 seconds for the rocket to reach the maximum height. To figure out what the maximum height is, we plug that back in. So h of 15 equals negative 16 times 15 squared, because that's t squared, plus 480 times 15. Plug all that in, and you should get a maximum height of exactly 3,600 feet. Then it says, at what times, notice plural, oh boy, will the rocket be at a height of 200 feet? So now in our picture, we want to know we don't necessarily want to know the maximum, we want to know when it reaches a specific height. So we think about the path that the rocket takes. Again, we said it'll go up and come down. If it reaches a maximum height of 3,600, 200 is going to be down here somewhere. So notice that it reaches it over here on the left side and the right side. We might have 2 solutions for this answer. How do we get that? Well, we're going to set the equation equal to 200, because that's the height that we want it to be at. So we'll say negative 16 t squared plus 480t equals 200. Anytime we're asked to solve, we had a rule back in the first part of this chapter. We said let the equation equal 0. Well, here we've set it equal to 200. That means we've got to move it over. That would give us negative 16t squared plus 480t minus 200 equals 0. So now it's in the form we need it to be in to solve. And of course, we're going to do quadratic formula. Here we go. So t equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Make sure to write that all in. And then remember, all over 2a. To simplify from here, there's a lot of numbers here. Again, make sure you have a calculator. We would get negative 480 plus or minus the square root. 480 squared is 230,400 minus 4 times negative 16 times 200 is 12,800, all over negative 32. The inside now, notice the negative didn't cancel out, so it is still a subtraction problem in there. That gives us negative 480 plus or minus the square root of 217,600 all over 32. So now we need to split this and get our two solutions. If we do negative 480 plus the square root of 217,600 and then divide it by negative 32, we would get approximately 0.42 seconds. So that's pretty quick. The rocket's going kind of fast. That makes sense. If we do the other version, negative 480 minus the square root of 217,600 all over negative 32, type all that into your calculator very carefully, and we would get approximately 29.58 seconds. So those are both times when the rocket would be at a height of 200. And that is lesson 1.6.